Yeah, remember when it cost an arm and a leg just to buy a used car? Well, new data out there shows that prices have actually been decreasing, including in October from the month prior, and are now down more than 3% on a year-over-year basis. Here to talk about some of those trends in the used car market is George Chamoun. He's the CEO of a company called ACV. It's a digital platform for dealers to buy and sell used cars. Thanks for being here, George.
No, thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
I think we all remember those halcyon days, at least for those folks who were selling used cars, where you can basically, name your price and get everything. We've seen a moderation in that, or maybe a renormalization of the market. Give us a sense here at the wholesale level, dealers coming in, looking to buy. Are the prices much more competitive now than what they were, maybe 4 years ago?
Yes, certainly. I mean, used car values have continued to come down over the last couple of years. Affordability from consumers obviously has been a big challenge, and we've seen prices come down. A big part of that is as new supply comes back and the incentives for new, think about now all of a sudden there's great lease payments for a lot of the great vehicles out there. So as the new lease incentives come out, new prices come down, used car values also come down.
Give me a sense here too with ACV, because you're dealing mainly with dealers. It's basically a wholesale network, more or less here. The types of dealers you're dealing with, are these kind of single one-off dealers? Hey, I got my, Joe Blow's Ford, on Route 96, or are these more kind of those big kind of multi-brand dealerships that kind of sell everything under the sun?
Yeah, at ACV we work with both. We have some of the largest dealers in the country leveraging our products. We have several products. One is ACV Auctions, and we also have a product that helps dealers source cars from consumers. And 1/3 of all of those new car or franchise dealers are working with ACV. In addition, independent dealers, as you mentioned, are a big part of the independent used car sales. We probably have around 1/3 of the independents or more working with ACV as well.
What kind of demand is there for hybrids versus EVs versus ICE vehicles?
So there's definitely today the highest demand for ICE, but plug-in hybrids.
Because of the price point.
Price point, trust, comfort, electric vehicles, especially dealers buying these cars after, if you think about our network, our network of dealers are comfortable buying these. So we've seen residuals did come down early in the year quite a bit with electric. It kind of leveled out, then just came down a little bit more. Plug-in hybrids have stayed very strong.
Yeah. I ask because a lot of people are leasing EVs right now. It's a way of testing out whether they want to permanently adopt this. And that means in about 3 years, there's going to be a lot of supply coming onto market, maybe even too much, given, it's been a slow transition to EVs from ICE vehicles.
Yeah, I just think all this stuff levels this stuff out. Every single one of these cars will get purchased at the end of the lease, at the end of its term. It just then corrects the price. So every one of these, there's a transaction price for every one of these assets, and we're obviously seeing now a lot more incentives for new EVs, and that will also drive the prices down.
Are expectations, though, consumer expectations, and dealer expectations for that matter, kind of a little bit normal in terms of pricing? Because there was a big disparity there, not just in used cars, but we saw that in new cars as well. I'm just wondering, have we gotten more in alignment?
There's definitely more alignment, but there's gaps of vehicles that dealers will definitely pay all the money for certain cars. There's many consumers out there. Keep in mind, the age of vehicles today on the road is 11 years old, average age, highest it's ever been. So many consumers are sitting on vehicles that they would be surprised what dealers will pay for these cars.
Really?
And we power these trade-in tools for well over 1,000 dealers across the country, where consumer right in their driveway can put in their data, take pictures using our artificial intelligence, and get a number. And the number is actually pretty high. Yeah. And so you've seen all of the media on prices have come down, but there's still a lot of consumers out there, especially the consumers that bought cars 5 years and prior, have incredible equity in these vehicles.
How do you see demand from consumers to upgrade their vehicles or to trade in their vehicles changing if interest rates continue to decline, albeit a little bit more slowly than perhaps people had projected at this, earlier this month?
Yeah, the cost of capital drives obviously both new and used affordability opportunities. So we're already seeing it with new. So as you've seen interest rates come down, you're seeing the OEMs lean in on incentives as their cost of capital goes down. And on used, the same thing will happen. So all of this, at the end of the day, the everyday household is thinking about a monthly payment. So whether they buy a $25,000 car or a $30,000 car, they're thinking, how do I pay $300 or $350 a month?
It's like they reverse engineer it.
That's right. And so we're already seeing new get corrected. Used prices are going down. As interest rates go down, it's going to be a really big factor for the everyday consumer to be able to buy these vehicles.
What's the growth story for ACV going forward? I mean, you guys have come a long way in a very short time, and a lot of people don't even know your name. I mean, they might be familiar with the product here. Is there sort of a plan in place, I guess, to not only just broaden the business, but also just broaden the awareness of it?
Yeah, our objective is we think both new car dealers and independent car dealers have unbelievable locations across the country. So think new car dealers, there's 16,500 locations. As you all drive by these BMW stores, Mercedes stores, Ford stores, they need technology. Yeah. They need the tools. They want to compete against those big box companies that come on to shows like this. Yeah. And we're here to help them. So think about ACV and some of our products like ClearCar are enabling technologies, so think B to B to C, so that when the everyday consumer wants transparency and trust on the value of their vehicle, they're going to be able to go to that local dealer, start in their driveway, show up, know the value of their car, and we're the ones that's going to be powering that.
All right, George, going to have to leave it there. A great conversation and a great product. George Chamoun is the CEO of ACV.